In this video, I want to show you how to add detailed condition assessment to your heritage. In this page, this is the resource manager page. You will see the second box or square is the resource model for detailed condition assessment. So what is this? What is the detailed condition assessment? Detailed condition assessment resource model is used to add more in-depth damage and risk assessment data to heritage recorded in the database in order to assess the condition and prioritize conservation and preservation activities. A detailed condition assessment is normally used to record detailed field-based condition assessment data, and this is normally used to add assessment for individual features, buildings, or components. As you will see in this video, a detailed condition assessment resource model has more fields which record more detailed assessment and in-depth assessment data than the usual standard condition assessment, which is found in a heritage place record. For EMENA project, most heritage places recorded using remote sensing or rapid assessment do not need a detailed condition assessment. But if you're doing field assessment and you want to add more detailed assessment to your building or structure, then you can use this heritage resource. Then you can use this resource model to record that information. So what I want to show you now, I want to continue on the example that my colleague Francesca showed you in the build components video. And that was the example of the house, a heritage building in north of Lebanon, Batroun. And this is one example of the western side of the building. And this is a picture of the north part of the building, and this is a cellar that the building has on its southern part. In the build components video, Francesca added a build component for this staircase. And the reason for that was to be able to add this detailed condition assessment to different component of this building, which is for western wall. I had components of the staircase. This added a part in the western part, and the main body and the windows of the western side of the house. But in this video, I'm going only to show you how to add this detailed condition assessment for the staircase, and the same methods can be used for different components and other components of this building, and also it could be used if you want to only add one detailed condition assessment but for the whole structure. So the methodology method is the same, but you need to, from the beginning, decide whether you want to do the detailed assessment for different components, so divide your structure into the different component, or do it for your overall feature as one heritage place. There are two different ways that you can add the DCA to your heritage place or build component. One, which is the recommended way, is to add your detailed condition assessment from within your heritage place or build component, and the other one is to add your detailed condition assessment from the scratch and then linking it to your build component or heritage feature. If I want to do the recommended route, and that is to find the component or heritage place that you want to add the DCA to and start to record your detailed condition assessment from within that heritage place, so you need to first search for your record that you want to add the detailed condition assessment to. And for this example, I want to add my detailed condition assessment to the components that Francesca created. In this case, when components are saved in the database, the unique ID starts with a component and the number of the build component. You need to make a note of this ID in order to find your record. For this one, the one that Francesca added, that staircase of my building, is component number 5. So when I click on that, and then directly I can click on edit here to go to the record and start to add my detailed condition assessment from within this build component record. But before doing that, I want to show you that if I click here on related resources of my component, I can see that this component has a person organizer as a assessor, which is my name, which has my name on it, and also it's related to the house. So the first Emina record that was recorded for this heritage place is my house, which is this record, and then my component staircase is the one that I want to add my detailed condition assessment to. So I click on edit of my component, and then in the new page I go directly to my record, and where as Francesca explained in her video as well, where this is done is under assessment summary. When I scroll down and come to assessment summary and click on assessment summary, note that a new page for my assessment summary is opened here, and that is to, if I wanted to add another assessment activity to record what I'm doing for this build component in order to add condition assessment to. But what I really want to do is to go to the one that already created for this build component, which has already my name on it, which has the date of the assessment, the type of activity with condition assessment, and now here I want to add my detailed condition assessment info. So I go click on detailed condition assessment field and say that I want to add a new condition assessment for it. I need to fill out this first page of my detailed condition assessment summary here directly from my build component record, and this will ensure that the relation between my detailed condition assessment and build component is retained. So I type the name of the investigator, which is myself, then the role of the person, the activity, which is a field-based condition assessment, date, I choose the same date that we had for the build component assessment, and that was 2017 September 13th. And then here in the next two field, because I'm already adding this information from within my build component, and my build component already is attached to my heritage place, the house that show you the related in the related resources page, I don't need to add any information in these fields. If I had any comments on the relationship, I would use this text field box to add my comments. If not, I just press add, and I have to make sure that I pressed add in the window, in the pop-up window. But in order to save this information, and you see here that I have a pen next to my this nested card, which means that it hasn't already properly saved. So I need to click on a save edit button here in order to now to save this information, and which is my detailed condition assessment information, to my build components staircase example. Then when I get to this stage, there are two ways to do it. So either I can go directly to my condition record by clicking on this pen symbol next to my condition, or if I want to take a break, go and come back, then I need to make a note of this condition number in order to search for it and find it, and then go and edit my complete my detailed condition assessment record. So now, for this example, I click on the pen symbol next to my detailed condition assessment link, and I directly go to my detailed condition assessment resource model. And this is where you can see all the different fields that I have and I need to fill out in order to add this in order to add more information and complete the detailed condition assessment record.